From April 1971 to September 1972, 6 young Black girls all around the same age were abducted from their own neighborhoods and then murdered in Washington, D.C.
Holy crap.
Despite there being 6 victims, an obvious serial killer, and all the girls identified, these murders have still gone unsolved.
No way.
A serial killer roaming free after brutally abducting and killing 6 young girls.
So until this day?
Until this day.
Wow.
Carol Denise Spinks lived at 1058 Whaler Place and was in the 7th grade at Johnson Junior High School. So that night, April 21st, 1971, Carol's mother, Allentine, decided to visit an aunt in Brentwood. But despite the rules, after Allentine left, sources say that Carol was asked by her older sister, Valerie, to walk down to the 7-Eleven on Wheeler Road and buy some snacks for the night. But as the time passes and Carol is taking longer and longer than what you're saying 4 blocks should take, Valerie, the older sister, begins to worry. Then slowly, it's been 3 painful hours since Carol originally left for the 7-Eleven 4 blocks away, and she still hasn't come home. As police begin the investigation into Carol's disappearance, they discover that the last time she had been seen was leaving the 7-Eleven that night with grocery bags in her hand. A group of children were playing near a grassy embankment behind St. Elizabeth's Hospital. It was the body of a young girl. The body of missing Carol Spinks. Carol had been strangled and sexually assaulted. About 2 months later, a young girl named Darlenia Denise Johnson was on her way to her summer job on July 8th, 1971, when she never showed up. The biggest red flag about this whole situation was not that Darlenia had not shown up for work that night. It was that she lived on 3922 Weller Road, Southeast Washington. This is the same road that Carol Spinks had been kidnapped from 9 weeks earlier. As police are called in and they connect the dots and feel deja vu from the similarities between the 2 cases, they are on edge. 4 days later, on July 12th, another teenager, 14-year-old Angela Denise Barnes, goes missing while walking home from a Safeway store. It
just seems so weird that all these would happen so close to each other.
Just 2 days later, on July 14th, 1971, Angela Barnes's body is discovered. 5 days later, Darlenia's badly decomposed body is found by Police Sergeant Charles Baden. 8 days later, on July 27th, 1971, 10-year-old Brenda Faye Crockett is abducted while walking to the Safeway grocery store.
What is going on?
After an hour, her friends and family made their way out into the summer night to look for the 10-year-old. At 9:20 p.m., the Crockett's house phone rings, but only Brenda Crockett's 7-year-old sister is home as everyone else is out searching for her. Her sister answers the phone, and according to her, it was Brenda Crockett on the other line. She was crying, and she told her sister that, quote, a white man had snatched her up. She explains that she's somewhere in Virginia, but is heading home in a cab. And roughly 20 minutes later, the phone rang again. This time, her stepfather/mother's boyfriend answered the phone, and again, it was missing Brenda Crockett. She told him that she was taken by a white man and did not know where she was. According to police records, while on the phone, she asked her stepfather the question, "Did my mother see me?" Her stepfather was confused and asked her how her mother could have seen her if she was in Virginia right now. When Brenda Crockett couldn't explain, he asked her to put the man on the phone who took her. He's like, let me talk to the man who took you. Her stepfather then heard loud, heavy footsteps, and then Brenda Crockett whispered, "Well, I'll see you soon," and hung up the phone.
I can't do that.
The next morning, July 28th, a hitchhiker stumbled upon Brenda Crockett's dead body. Nearly 1 month goes by before the next event. It was October 1st, 1971, when Nina Moshia Yates is taken on her way to once again
Good old Safeway, am I right?
Yes, a Safeway store, but keep in mind this is once again a different Safeway.
Okay.
At the time, Nina Moshia's mother was in the hospital after just delivering a baby, and her father, a construction worker named William Yates, was at home with her and her younger sibling. He asked Nina Moshia to run to the store down the street for sugar, flour, and paper plates. When William came home from the hospital and Nina Moshia was still not back from the store, he began calling friends and family before eventually walking down to the Safeway himself to look for her. But when he walks back outside, he notices something devastating. All of the items that he sent her there for were strewn across the ground outside of the store. Her body was found on Pennsylvania Avenue.
3 hours. So it's almost like it's getting
escalating.
Yes, exactly.
Her body was still warm when the hitchhiker found her. A month later, on November 15th, 1971, a girl named Brenda Denise Woodard is after moving out to live on her own due to a minor disagreement with her parents.
Okay.
Her father dropped her off at Cardozo High School for evening classes in typing and shorthand skills. After class, she went to a place called Ben's Chili Bowl with a friend to get something to eat. And then after dinner, this classmate, who would have typically driven Brenda Woodard home, but their car was in the shop, so they just together took the city bus and eventually said goodbye around 11:30 p.m. while she was waiting for another bus to come get her so she could finish her way home.
Okay.
She was last seen at this bus stop on 8th and H Street Northeast. The next day, around 5 a.m., Brenda Woodard's body is found on the shoulder of the Baltimore-Washington Parkway. She was found by Cheverly police officer David Norman, who was out conducting a routine patrol.
I understand.
The officer reports that he shone his flashlight into her eyes to see if there was life, but she didn't even blink. She did nothing. They also found a note from the in Brenda's coat pocket. It read, "This is tantamount to my insensitivity," which was spelled wrong, "to people, especially women. I will admit the others when you catch me if you can. Freeway Phantom." And pretty soon, 10 months went by without another that fit this profile.
Okay.
So police and even the public began to assume that either the killer had left the area and was now targeting somewhere else, or had been picked up on a different charge and was sitting in prison. But then on September 5th, 1972, all of that changed. 17-year-old Diane Denise Williams, a senior at Bayou High School, was while walking home from the bus stop.
Diane, I can't believe that another Denise. So this is obvious that
This is
what he's doing.
That evening, she had cooked dinner for her family, then visited her boyfriend's house, who drove her to the bus stop at Martin Luther King Road so that she could head home. Diane's mother, Margaret, noticed that Diane had not come home at curfew and alerted her father, Leon. Margaret then called Diane's boyfriend, who confirmed that he watched her board the bus over an hour ago. When Diane had not returned by the next morning, Leon calls and reports her missing on his way home from his night shift. While driving, he notices a truck pulled off on the side of the road with people standing around, but just keeps driving home because he's worried about his daughter. Mm-hmm. But what he didn't know was that truck that was pulled over and stopped was because the driver noticed something strange on a grassy incline next to the highway. It was Diane's body. And although this was the 6th or 7th victim police believed was involved in the Freeway Phantom murder, even now, they weren't one step closer to catching the killer than they were when the first victim, Carol, was
I think he's probably dead. I don't think he's alive anymore, whoever did it.
Most likely, but I still wish, because some of these siblings are alive.
Yeah.
And I still really
They
wish
knew if they could have some peace and not feel scared. Yeah.
or at least just some justice. I don't know if closure is the word, but like just the justice that they are able to have.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I hate it.
Goodbye.